Manchester United have again lost, losing 2-0 away at West Ham. Absolutely toothless performance from Manchester United going forward. And second half we managed to concede 2 goals. Absolutely shocking. The same dog shit that we've seen time and time again from Manchester United under Erik ten Hag. And to be honest, I don't really see how he's still in the job at Manchester United. That's now 4 games without scoring, losing 3 out that 4. Just absolutely fucking awful. Now, change was made at centre back. Willie Cambiwala, or however you pronounce his name, coming at centre back to replace it was apparently ill Varane, but is he really ill? I don't know, but he coming at centre back didn't do too bad considering he hasn't played in the first team before, has had a number of injuries over the last few years, which has stopped him from making any appearances for Manchester United. Was rated as one of the highest prospects in world football at centre back a couple of years ago, but had a number of injuries, so it's nice to see him get a chance, get a young player get a chance in there, but it's overshadowed completely by Manchester United's poor dog shit performance yet again. And I think we've just got to do away with this geezer in charge. To me, the players just aren't playing for this geezer. Now, okay, we haven't created nothing up front for Højlund, but that's now 15 games he's gone, I think, in the league with no goals. I mean, at some point, where does it end? I mean, it's just dreadful. I mean, you can keep blaming, obviously today we didn't create nowhere near enough chances, and we haven't done in some games, but he's still got to be getting some form of goals at some point, because he is the striker of Manchester United, and 15 games in and no goals is just dreadful. I mean, we've seen Garnacho miss an absolute sitter in this game as well. I mean, I personally not sure if he's good enough at this moment in time to lead Manchester United forward, but you look on the other side, you've got Anthony, who's just fucking dreadful. I think that's about 19 games this season, no goals, no assists. He's just one hell of an awful player. And I mean, Erik ten Hag has brought a number of these players into Manchester United and they're not working out. I know Mainoo's made mistakes, but he's a young geezer, would let him off at the moment. But the problem is that Manchester United are just awful. I mean, you've got Mainoo and Scott McTominay in there. Scott McTominay is obviously not good enough to take Manchester United to that next level, we know that. But he's signed Amrabat and he's not really worked out. It's all just a horrendous show, but these players just do not look like they're playing anywhere near what they can play, even with the poor players that are in the squad. To justify Erik ten Hag staying as Manchester United manager, I think these players can give another 30-40% at least for the manager, and the manager can get another 30-40% out of them. And at the end of the day, if the manager's not getting enough out of these players, he deserves to lose his job. And I know in previous videos I've said players have down tools, and I know certain players have down tools because I've heard about that this has happened, and I heard about this at the beginning of the season, which is why I've always been so strongly that Erik ten Hag won't turn this around. At first I didn't want him to be obviously sacked and Manchester United to have to replace the geezer, but the longer it's gone on and we just keep losing game after game, you think that there is no option. And when you lose the support of 1 or 2 players, which we know he did at the start of the season, I'm sure he did, the likes of Sancho and Rashford have definitely gave up wanting to play for this geezer. I know that for a fact at the start of the season, but I was hoping that a number of the other players would support the manager, but it looks like so many more have down tools for this manager. And at the end of the day, people say we'll just get rid of the players. I can understand that's what's going to happen in the comment section, which has been said in previous videos that I've done, but you can't get rid of 15-20 players. If 15-20 players are not playing for this geezer, you cannot get rid of all them players. You just can't. And the manager will end up losing his job, but he cannot replace all these players. He's been given about 15 odd players since he's been at Manchester United, some on loan, some free, some have been signed for big money. You can't just go out and replace all them players. We've got problems with financial fair play due to the Glazers fucking us over, and we can't go out there and buy another 10 players. We can't go and spend another 300 million on players. You've got to get the best out of what you've got, and there is still some talented players in this squad. We shouldn't be losing the amount of games that we've lost this season. I'm sorry, it's just unacceptable. And at the end of the day, the manager's going to come under extraordinary pressure if you keep losing. You can't keep losing and keeping your job. We've lost over 50% of our games. That has got to be worse than what Gary Neville done at Valencia. It is just not good enough for Manchester United. It really isn't. and I think if he got the sack this evening, it would be justified. I really do. I mean, the football going forward is toothless. Yes, that front three isn't nowhere near good enough to challenge for a league title. I understand that, but it should be doing better. We shouldn't have gone 4 games where we don't even look like we're going to fucking score a single fucking goal. It is just not good enough. Really isn't. Something has got to change. I mean, there is a chance that if we sat this geezer, we could have a little bit of an effect like we did when Ole Gunnar Solskjaer coming after Mourinho. And yes, I know people will say the players are snakes. Yes, they are. But at the end of the day, what can we do? We're not going to get rid of the whole squad of 23, 24 players. So at the end of the day, the manager's going to take the butt for it. And yes, I want some of these players that are not pulling their weight to leave, but I don't know. This just isn't getting any better this season. Anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Poor again today. Poor in that final third. West Ham deserving to win the game in the end. Like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new. If you're watching on Facebook, please do hit the share button, and I'll talk to you all again soon.